Hello, folks, skulls. How are you doing? Sunday night. Guess where I am? Not at home. No, I'm not at home. Who've we got? I see Bill, Graham, William, Jamjar, Mark, Metal, Cat, Max, Felty, Mac, Jez, Farmer, Ghost, Tamsin, Yukuri, Eric, Dimitri, Power, Chris, Texas, William, Evan, Michael, Robert, Miko, AWI, Swindex, Bleetron and Squibblet. Who else we got? 28, Fealty. Hello, folks and girls. How are we? Have we had a good week? Yes, I'm in the studio. Why am I in the studio? Because Kez took the kids to a university day thing and I had the time to get in the studio and do some work. So I got in the studio and do some work. Septic, IVO. So, all good here. All good. So yeah, I nipped in to get some work done, to be perfectly honest, and to crack on. So, the irony is I've pretty much done all the work I meant to do, so I haven't really got much to do on the live stream. Hey ho. Mac from Pembroke, hello dude. Work in the studio. Well, kind of sit down and have a brew in the studio, really. Ah, the poo sheet, how is it? Rather nice. I've been painting the poo sheet. I've got poo sheets everywhere. There's poo sheets there, there and there. There's one there, there's one there. I've got 5 at the minute. What's the favourite thing you've made? My kids. Hi from Italy, you're an inspiration. I'm actually painting a core warm boss on a juggernaut. Ew, that's a dirty mini. Get painting some terrain. Hey, tabletop. Hey, Rob. You must have something to do for the BBB. No, it's another one of those of because I've been working on the acrylic mats and trying to get ahead with the Let's Makes tutorials. That latest one was a good one, wasn't it? The Scorched Woods. I like that. Because I've been trying to work on that, I haven't actually got stuck into my own Burma build yet. I did the mat, obviously, you know, the big mat. And that sort of spurred me on to say, well, that isn't really good enough. And it sort of spurred me on to sort of figure out all this acrylic caulking malarkey. Yeah. So far, that's how many tubes I've gone through trying to figure it all out. And I'm nowhere near figuring it out yet. Although I reckon I've figured out stippling and impression work on acrylic caulking. We have to wait for the video for more on that. I actually got to play a board game today, which was nice. Nice one. Brew? What, that's not tea? No, it's a coffee. Never normally watch live shows on it. Oh, God. Missed that comment. Working on haunted houses and graveyards for your Scorched Trees vid was perfect timing. Nice one, Cat. Nice one, Eurus. Hey, Bill. Red Green. 10 tubes for how much of a surface area? I'm looking at approximately a tube per 2x2 at the minute. Yeah, but I'm looking at different cost tubes, you know, because, for example, this one, yeah, £5.80 a tube. This one, yeah, £4 a tube. This one, £1 a tube. So right now they're curing, and once they're fully cured, I'll be able to get them out and I'll be able to make comparisons and decide whether the £1 stuff is as good as the expensive stuff, yeah, for what we need it for. You know what I mean? And if that's the case, costs come right down. If it isn't, then what I've got to do is, because I think with what I'm discovering, I think it's going to be an expensive jobby with acrylic caulking, so I may have to look at diluting it down with a paint and PVA mix. But I won't know if we need to do that until I've evaluated the cheap tubes. The cheap tubes. Now, we should have a little guest coming along. Yeah, at some point. I'm having a lift home with Fred. He finishes about somewhere between sort of 9:30 and 10. Yeah, and he's giving me a lift home tonight. Yeah. And so, what do you call it? He's going to wander up here when he's done painting and come join us for a little while before we finish. So, save all your colour questions for Fred. I'm definitely waiting for the video on those mats. As soon as I've worked them out, I'll do it. All hail the Mel. Dues paid for today. Are we paying dues, are we? Right, on the fundraising. First off, thank you guys. Yeah. You funded the, what do you call it? You funded the computer build. Yeah, on Thursday's show. Not only did you fund it, but you went about 50 quid over, which is quite good because Jace went, hey, you know that extra 50 quid? I can get you a 4 terabyte drive for that. And so, you know, we've hit it. Now, he has been messaging me saying, what's the funding target for today? And I'm like, no funding target. So I appreciate your donations. And although I need the money, I always need the money. There's always things to buy and always things to do. Yeah. Although I need the money, I'm not putting a funding target up on this show. And I'm not going on about funding and that sort of stuff. Because I want a break from it. You know what I mean? I just want to have a natter with you. So, we have got the latest supporters. If you would like to support me, and there is no pressure whatsoever, yeah, you can send a couple of quid via PayPal. The link's there. There's a link down below. Or you can jump on Patreon with the monthly pledge. Yeah? But I'm not pushing it tonight. But we have got one. Yeah? Harry H. He sent us a nugget. So, let's just get Harry on the screen. Thank you, Harry. Dues paid, or as we prefer to call him in the chat, Oddin. Yeah, it was. So somewhere between 6 and 36 quid a table, possibly more Bleachron, because I'm discovering that one layer, yeah, isn't thick enough to cover the weave. Yeah, so you're possibly looking at 2 tubes per 2x2. I won't know until the layering test is done. Now this is the layering test here, yeah, and at the minute that one, let me just drag it across there, that bit's got 1 layer of what you call it, acrylic caulking on, this bit has got its 2nd layer curing, yeah, and then once that's cured, I'll put another strip down, we'll put 3 layers on. That way I can assess how many layers we need to put on to hide the weave, yeah, and also, yeah, what that does to the flexibility, the durability and that sort of stuff. And Jace is off. Look at him. I might have to put him on a timeout if he keeps doing that palaver. What? No dancing? Oh, we danced. Oh, we danced at the end of the last show, but I'm not dancing this. Donations tonight could fund all the corkies used for the test mats. Do you know what? I'm really glad I found the £1 tubes. Because I was sitting down and I've worked out all the different tests I want to do. And I reckon I'm going to be looking at probably about 8 or 9 2x2 squares by the time I've done all my testing. Yeah. I'm so glad I have it. I really hope the £1 tube pays off. Otherwise, this is going to become an expensive bloody testing process. Be cheaper to get a fat mat. Well, it depends, doesn't it? That's what we need to look at. Whether it is cheaper to go commercial. But we're not going to know that until we've actually done the tests. And the one thing I will say is, yeah, there are commercial mats. You know, I've got a few, to be truthful. I'm going to have a few more coming because I'm doing a mat review. And I figured I'm probably going to have about 20 of the buggers. I've got 7 at the minute, and that's just from 3 companies. Yeah, but yeah, it probably would be cheaper to get a, what you call it, commercial mat. But that doesn't mean you can get a mat that's perfect for your needs. You know what I mean? Or your flock and that sort of stuff. What I'm doing it for is I want to make a mat that's perfect for my Burma build. And I'm not going to be able to, you know, and I can't buy a Burma build mat anywhere off any manufacturer. So that's what this is about. We'll see about the cost. We're not going to know until we've worked it out. Right, Bleacher, because I thought the point was to blend in flock with the cork. Not sure yet, mate. Still got tests to do on that front, on whether it's better to mix in your texturing and your flock and that sort of stuff in with the cork, whether to lay it down or whether to, while the cork's still sticky, or whether to let the cork cure, lay it down PVA and then apply it. We won't know until we've done the tests. I mean, we did some very simple tests, yeah, very early on with the Terrain Lab, but this is far more in depth, if you know what I mean. I saw you both dancing. Made me feel weird. As long as it wasn't weird in the trousers department, mate, I'm all good. Are you going to test mats from Playmats EU? Playmats? I've heard of game mats. I haven't heard of Playmats. Hey, yeah, free loot for 20 of them. Well, I'm not going to keep them. I might keep a couple of mats, like a green one, an urban one, you know what I mean, just for showcasing stuff for taking photos. But I don't have the storage for them, to be truthful. I mean, they're already filling up my my kitchen, and I don't have the room to fit. Well, I suppose I could run them across, because they're bloody big mats. They're big things. I mean, look at the size of this thing. Oh, miniature's fallen. This one. This is from Deep Cut. And it's a hefty bloody thing. It's a lovely pattern. You're not going to get the colours properly. Wait for the video, guys. But, you know, what I'm probably going to do is, there's a couple of school groups that I know of in the local area that would appreciate some mats. So a couple are going there. Jace has got a library group that he runs for a load of kids, so a couple will go that way. And I've been contacted by a group of gamers who run fundraisers for sick kids and stuff like that, run raffles, so more than likely I'll throw a few into the pile there as well. I mean, there's no point in me keeping stuff that is of no use to me, you know what I mean? And I'm not sort of trying to devalue the mats and say that they're no use, yeah, I'm just saying to me, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's throw another coat on there while we're here. Right. Oh, itchy nose. It's a Polish company with lots of mats for wargaming. Raphael, send me an email with their details, mate, please. I'll chase them up. I mean, I thought I got everyone, but I've discovered tiny mats I need to reach out. Put them on your walls, dude. Do you know what? I could do it as an art installation, couldn't I? 50 Shades of Mat. I'd have to make a lot more bloody mats. Woolen Scenics don't make terrain mats, Max. They make static grass mats. And they're also not 6x4. I like this. I like those. That's a Jarvis Scenics one, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, 50 Shades of Mel. So what are you doing tonight? Painting. Did you just say that Fred the Chromancer was on this eve? He could be, Jez. He's painting at the minute. It's beautiful. He's doing bushes. Yeah, the man. He's sitting there and he's got about 18 different shades of green pre-mixed in oil paint, all on his on his palette. His palette's huge. Yeah, it's all down. It's more like a bench side than a palette. But he's got like 18 shades of green on there because he's doing some bushes. I mean, the bushes are only about that big on the canvas. It's about that much, and he's got 18 different shades so he can do a bush that big. It's a freaking genius. Artron 5000 question. Mel, I'm happy to make you some Gopher music if you still want. That's what I do. Email me, bud. Drop me an email. They do. They make them in 50-inch by 100-inch sheets. I'll have a nose on Amazon. Same as he does every night, Sunday night, Septic. Plan to take over the world. Well, at least, does that make me Brain or Pinky? Hey, if I'm Brain, that makes Jace Pinky. I'm going to start calling him. Go for music. Right, I think I'm going to put a bit more paint on this one. Because I need to. Let me take a photo of it first. go that way round, because that's the way I was been working on it. One of them should be good enough. Don't be talking about my pinky dude. Calm down, Jace. Yes, you are braining. Jace is definitely pinky. What's the mat for? Well, I mean, fundamentally, the mat will be... It's for a tutorial. Well, all these mats are for a terrain lab, you know. I just want to figure it out. I want to get acrylic caulking nailed down once and for all so I know it as a material. So when any questions come along about acrylic caulking, I know the answers, and I know that I know the answers. It's not guesswork. And the only way you can do this is by literally sitting down, you know, throwing a week's work into it, you know, a bucket load of cash, and figuring it all out. You know, I mean, that's the joy of being the terrain tutor and the patrons and all that sort of stuff. If I was a commission artist, I wouldn't be able to put a week aside just to piss about with with acrylic to try and figure it out. I'd just have to, like, find a tutorial, hope that's right, do that and learn from that. You know, maybe learn a little as I'm doing it. Yeah. But you guys supporting me and me being the terrain tutor instead means that I can take a week, I can do a load of experiments, I can come up with the answers, and then I can present the community with all the right information on what it does do, what it doesn't do, the techniques to use. Yeah, so we'll do the terrain lab. I'll get it all nailed down so I'm 100% happy with how acrylic caulking works and all that sort of stuff. And then, okay, I'll do a battle mat tutorial, a proper tutorial, not the follow me along that we did for the Watcher at the Burma board, but you know, an actual right. Let's make some mats. Mac the Maker, dumb question. Is the same size chunk of MDF or plywood heavier? I've got to build 3 tables for Adepticon and read them. I think ply is slightly heavier, yeah, but yeah, ply is sturdier than MDF. So for your tables, yeah, ply would be the better option, okay? Because for the strength of ply over the area, you're gonna have to go for a thicker amount of MDF for the sturdiness. Yeah, so ply, mate. Even though technically it's heavier, yeah. Because to get the sturdiness you need, you'll need more thickness of MDF than you will of ply, because the whole point of plywood is it's a sturdy wood because it's made of layers that are placed down perpendicular, yeah, which makes it sturdy. I get no chance to experiment as I'm commission based on leather work. It's good, but creatively sometimes it's a bit dull. Exactly, Jez. You know, this is the problem when you are a commission artist. In whatever field, you spend that much time working on work to pay the bills, yeah, that you don't get time to experiment. Now, I'm kind of lucky because of all my patrons, you wonderful folks that fund me and that sort of stuff, that for me, the experimenting is part of my work because, you know, I'll do a video on it, I'll get patron money for that, which will, you know, he'll buy the kids shoes for school and he'll put, you know, put the electricity on and pay the rent and that sort of stuff, you know, as wages do. Yeah, so essentially my work is the teaching and the experimenting. Okay, and you know, it's what I love. Yeah, but I really want to nail this down and just get acrylic caulking nailed so I'm happy. No, I'm not going to specifically nail it down to my desk. I mean, I've pinned it down before, but I'm not going to nail it down. It's actually lighter Mel. Alright, Jace, that's news to me. I'm seeing density values about 300. Well, in which case, well, there I am. I'm wrong. Plyboard is lighter. In which case, definitely go for ply. Because I know it's stronger. Close to 124 scale. To be truthful, the mats are pretty scalable. You know, all you got to do is go for a mat that doesn't contain anything that is man-made, because that's what we reference scale against. Anything natural, you know, it's variable, isn't it? Maybe I should start doing leatherwork teaching online. Jez, do it, man. If you can, do it. It's an interesting thing being a teacher. Yeah, because that's essentially what I am. You know, I'm a tutor. You know, I teach you how to make terrain. And, you know, I'm a researcher, so that puts me in like the higher echelons of the education of the terrain world, because I'm a researcher as well. Yeah, but I do enjoy it. It's very rewarding. How is ply in terms of resisting warping? Bloody brilliant. It's probably one of the best woods you can get for avoiding warping because of that layer thing. Better tan MDF. Hey, Rob, how you doing, bud? Very true, but I want to use it for stop motion, using mega blocks and transformers. I'd have a look at what mats are around. Also, contact the company. Ask them if they can do you a custom print at a different resolution. It's doable. I know I know Deep Cut Studios, they do custom prints. I'm not sure about the others. Yeah, but it's an option. Are you over in Coleraine? You with the beast, Rob? Question on the subject of using cotton dust sheets for a battle mat. The other day I saw a roll of builder's roof felt that roofers had put under roof tiles. What about using that? Technically, yes. I can't see any major problems with using that. You'd have to test it, mate, to be perfectly honest. I mean, one of the reasons that we use the cotton is because the acrylic caulking soaks into it and adheres quite well to it. I don't know if the fact that roof felt not being an open weave but essentially a solid structure, whether that would cause problems. But the only way to find out is test, mate. I just want to say, working on your expanded phone, I've even referenced you to several other gaming acquaintances and the checking. Nice one, bud. Jez, I do a lot of helping out with tips for people and teach bits of history. You've got me thinking, Mel. Jez, do it. Do it, Jez, do it. Come on, connect. Wait, that's it. It's been a git. Come on. There we go. Roof fat would be brittle and cracks if folded. Well, there you go then. You don't want to use that then, do you? Mel broke it. I did not break it. You know me and technology. Anyway, well, I've got a little bit of time. Oh God, you guys are messaging me. Right, come on. I better get you on the screen before I do some painting. Right, we have had $8.50. So I'm assuming that's probably about $9, something like that. I don't know. From Leon B. Let's get Leon on the screen. Thank you, Leon. And then we have had, I'm going to have to click that, $25 from Steph H. Thank you, Steph. Where are you? Are you in the chat? Thank you, guys. You'll be making Jace all smiley. There we go. Right. What was I about to do? I was about to put some paint on here, wasn't I? Yeah. Lay me. Thank goodness, Mel. I have a train question. Well, ask it, Rick. Ask it. Right, missing. If you've asked a question and I've not answered it, not felt, but the membrane under the tower roofs is breathable. Have a play, mate. Do a test. I think that's the best thing you can do. Yeah, I'm not doing a gopher dance yet. No, we only do gopher dances when we hit big targets. Otherwise, you buggers would have me dancing all day. Right, let's get another coat on here. Lay me down. Get in there, you git. Don't you hate when you've got like a little hole that you're trying to force paint in? You have to stab at it. Spend more time trying to get your paint into a tiny little hole than you do actually painting the entire piece. Question, did you get those 2 fun music samples I sent you? I probably did. I don't think I've checked them yet, Jace. My messenger is currently sitting there with something like 20 people waiting to be answered. That's an admin job for tomorrow. What? Jace, don't be setting your own bloody targets. And no drag Mel. We've dropped that. I think Mel's been watching We Were Soldiers. Yeah, I have it. It's literally, it just finished before the live stream kicked in. Brilliant film. Love that film. I'm sort of hammering the Netflix account while I'm in the studio. No, Dragmal. It was more like €10. Ah, thank you, Leon B. What's the big purchase? There is no big purchase. Calm down. No Dragmal. Calm. I'll have to put him in a timeout in a minute. There's no Dragmal. We ain't doing it. Have you seen Fury, Mel? Yes, I have seen Fury. I've seen the tank that's in Fury. I went down to Bovington with Corb when we dropped the foreground mat off. Yeah, and Rich Hale from Battleboards is working at Bovington, the tank museum. But Rich was the one who did the stand for the Fury tank. Yeah, because it's in like a demo area almost, you know, with loads of stuff from the movie and that sort of stuff. And Rich did that. Yeah, he's currently down there working on a load of sort of diorama. He's working on 1-to-1 scale terrain with real tanks. The git. The jammy bugger. Can we have Dragon Mal instead? Get you fire breathing and sitting on a pile of gold or something. If I can find a fire breather, I'll do that. But I'm not doing Drag Mel. Mel doing the can-can? No. Gaz says, stop slacking and get on with it, Mel. You tell Gaz to get back to his painting. I bet he hasn't finished painting his models yet. He'll be there Monday morning. Yeah, still painting. Either that or he'll be up in the guest house later painting by like a little lamplight on the whatchamacallit, on the stairs. What sort of brand of cork or filler? It's Dial, mate. It's B&Q's brand. I don't know if you can get it in the States because I'm not in the States. I have to say Fury is such a bad skit though. Do you reckon? I think it's alright. Are you going to make a tutorial for island terrain places for on sea battle maps? Yes, I am. It is on the list. Yeah, that sort of goes with the small scale terrain because typically when you do island stuff, it's, you know, for naval games and they tend to be small scale stuff because naval ships tend to be big. Puff the Magic Dragon. I'm getting crackling and break up when Mel is talking. Want to check another vid and all clear for anyone else having that problem? Shouldn't be. I mean, the mic's looking pretty good. Yeah. Drag Mel. There is going to be no drag Mel. Mel ain't doing drag. I mean, Mel's done drag. Mel's done drag tons of times going out. But I've just come to the conclusion that I am not risking the wrath, yeah, of the social... I hate using the term, but the social justice warriors on YouTube. Not doing it. Not risking it. Do not need that grief in my life. I'm still waiting for a pirate build. Yeah, 10 by 10. Finds all. What's the latest on the castles? Castles are looking likely to be a patron-only build, to be truthful. Patron has a live broadcast system that ties into YouTube where I can just broadcast to my patrons. And I'm looking at being able to build the castle live as a regular show. And then once it's all built, do tutorials, edit the footage up for tutorials for everyone. So my patrons get to follow along live, and then you know, everyone gets the information. Mel, Kez would be ticked off if you stretch out her clothes. Are you saying I'm fat? How dare you? Mel, if you need a scholarly help in the castle project, I'm doing my PhDs on castles. Oh, didn't are you? Nice one, dude. We will be talking, son. It's 11:30. Monday, but screw it, I'll just sit here. We're only here for probably about another half hour anyway, mate. We'll have you in bed for midnight. Oh, you can shut up, Jace. Can we get a list of materials needed so we can follow along with the castle build? Gazby, YouTube thought your comment was abusive. It's giving me the choice to show or hide it. Shall I show you? Gaz is a mate of mine. Here. Gaz has said, you're fat on the inside. I am fat on the inside. So is everybody. Because everybody has fat in between their organs to pad things out. I've just got none on the outer bits. Now it's holding diggies. Pot baddie pig. See, YouTube knows you lot are trying to abuse me. Right, okay, Greg, what's Greg? Do we get a list for his US? We should be able to, Greg. We should be able to. I will do my level best, as I always do. I don't know why I put one hand in my pocket when I'm painting. I think it's because I've spent that much time, yeah, putting my hand on wet stuff, that I naturally just put it out of the way in my pocket while I'm painting. How bizarre. Bites dust. Gaz has been scoffing fat sausages all weekend. Yeah, that's turf and surf for you. Food there. If I become a pro, can I watch the live vids after the fact? I'm usually working with it. Yeah, what you call it? As I understand it, you'll be able to go to the post on Patreon as a patron, yeah, and watch the live stream afterwards. Have you decided what castles you're going to build and from what material? I'm not sure yet. Napoleon used to tuck his hand in his coat for the same reason. I'm in good company then, aren't I? Going to watch your rock formation video later to get inspiration? Well, we've got plenty. Hey, Lars. Right. I'm going to get some photos of this. And I need to clean out that brush. See, Gazby's made it alright from what you call it, from insulting me, because he's just sent us a PayPal. Alright, just let me stick this in my wash tub. And then we'll get you on the screen, Gaz. What have you been working on? Mats. While we're here, anything you'd like to know about mats while I'm working out my experiments? I mean, I think I've nailed everything I really want to check with mats. Yeah, with regards to what I want them to do, etc. But, any of you guys got any requests, things that you'd like to know if acrylic can handle and that sort of stuff? Been at least a month since last time I've been able to follow Sunday night. Good to see you. You're still cracking on. Always cracking on, bud. Always cracking on. Isn't that a bit like buying a pardon from the church? Bribery and corruption. I'm not sure. Buying a pardon from the church. What are you treating the mats with? Caulking? Yeah, that's it. Can you roll it? Oh yeah, you can roll them. They roll really well. I haven't got any loose at the minute, except for my big battle mat that I can show you. But I mean, this one's just been painted, but as you can see, you know, it will roll. Someone's talking train stuff, never mind. Question. When the cork dried, did it tighten the mats that you thought were a bit wobbly? Oh yeah, hell yeah, it did. Mel's on the scene to absolve you of all your terrain faux pas. Yes, you can see it like that. Roll really well. That was my question. Yeah, they do roll really well. Just very quickly before we do sort gas, this is the mat that I did for my Burma board. Yeah, this is acrylic caulking. Yeah, it rolls absolutely fine. Smells lovely as well. Oh. But bits keep falling off it. Right, let me get Gaz on the screen, because he sent us a fiver. My good friend Gaz B. There you go. Thank you, Gaz. Oh, beloved tenant. I'm not going to be here long. Just wanted to pop in and say hi. Hello, bud. Question. How many coats went into the Burma mat? Only one. Which is why I think it's kind of a bit of a screw up. Hence why I'm doing this. Because I'm not happy with it. I'm nowhere near happy with it, to be perfectly honest. And part of me is sort of like, I wish I'd done the experimentation earlier. Yeah, before I attempted the Burma mat. But I think it was good that I did the Burma mat, because the one thing about doing a full 6x4 full mat, yeah, is it completely demystifies the process with regards to, is this a big job and all that sort of stuff. And so the idea of doing tons of little mats and doing lots of different stuff, I feel a lot more comfortable about. But I do need to get it nailed down. Tends to buy the brown colour. You can paint afterwards also. I'm not 100% sure on the brown one, to be truthful, because that's reasonably expensive. I'm hoping the white one's gonna do all right. I mean, it's still drying a bit. We'll have to see when it fully cures. Question, can't you do another layer on the Burma mat? No, I can't. I've already added all the flock and that sort of stuff, which will make it problematic. So I'd rather, yeah, I'd rather, sit down, work it all out, do it properly. Right, you're done, guys. Playmats EU, yeah, go ahead, chase that. I am caught up. Would the brown work out cheaper in the long run, Mel, given the need to paint it afterwards in both and paint usage? Well, it depends. The brown one is £4 a tube, the white one is £1 a tube. For £3 a tube, a difference of 25% of the brown, you can afford the time in painting. And to be truthful, there's a good chance you're going to have to paint it anyway. You know what I mean? To match whatever you're doing. Do you have a mug in there today? Yes, I do. Have you run gaffer tape around the edges underneath? No, I'm running plastic under it so it doesn't adhere at the minute. And that's worked well. Yeah, the edging, I haven't decided on how I'm going to handle. I was thinking, one gaffer tape is an option. A few people have suggested just paint on glue, raw PVA, because that will make a flexible end. But at the same time, I've got a load of not upholstery workers, fabric workers, textile workers. Yeah, there's 2 or 3 in the studios. So I fancy approaching those because they have the industrial sewing machines and actually getting some webbing. Yeah, you know, the black material that you use for straps and stuff like that. Getting some of that and actually edging it in something like that. If the £1 tube works, that is. Yeah, well, this is why we've got to test it. Any suggestions where I can get reasonably priced 28ml fruit cheese for an orchard? 4 gram stuff is nice, but I need about 30. Cheap Chinese one, look, pants. Any middle ground? Steve, I don't know, mate. To be truthful, manufactured wise, the only ones I know of is 4 gram. If you come across any others, please email me a link, because, you know, I wouldn't mind knowing that. I mean, the 4 gram ones are nice. Mel, can you dope the white paint with pigment? Technically, the white with pigment, technically, yes. That's one of the experiments that I need to do. Yeah, the idea of diluting it down, mixing it with paint and PVA and seeing, you know, what that does to the mix. But I don't want to do that until the results from those are in. I mean, I've got all sorts, like I say, I've got a bucket load of tests to run. Well, I built a foam board for World War II diorama. I'm going to be covering it with watered down filler. I've set some rubber in there. Will I be able to spray prime with a rattle can and the paint still stay on? Yes, mate. Yeah, you'll be fine. Watered down filler. The only thing I'd touch on is if you built a World War II diorama with foam buildings, the foam dissolves with spray. So just go along the edges of all the foam on your building and just give it a brush down with watered down filler. That will protect the foam from melting when you spray it. And that's the only concern you really have. There's a video on it in the foam board playlist, in the urban foam board playlist. Texturing with filler, it's called. Don't notch make fruit trees. I don't know, do they? I haven't seen them. Let me know how you get on, Steve. K&M trees are nice. I like K&M trees. They're the old GW ones. K&M is one of those scenic manufacturers that we all know their products, but we've never heard of the company. I can guarantee most wargamers own K&M products, Yeah, if they've got some terrain. But they don't actually know it's from K&M. Right, start up there. The spray you get that don't melt. Yeah, you can get foam safe sprays, but they tend to be a little bit more expensive than your normal primers. The Model Tree Shop. Ka-ching! Okay, I've missed that, cat. What you comment? It's thinner than webbing, but sturdier and much easier to sew. What is cat? Tell me again. Commission for Mel? Make fruit trees? No. I'm not sitting there sticking little balls on. Mel, have you ever had your work in magazines? Yes, there's been various pieces that I've done that have appeared in wargaming magazines because they've been taken to shows and stuff like that. Most notably, probably the foreground stuff. No worries, Septic. Nice one, CJ. 3-inch rug binding. 3-inch rug binding. Right, okay. Question, can I work with filler to create a brick texture when it's solid or when it's partially dry? I think you'll struggle. You probably are better doing Dave Marshall's technique of layering down a thin layer of DAS modelling putty and engraving into that, mate. Yeah, I'd avoid filler. I don't think you're going to be able to pull it off. Thanks, Kat. I'll keep that in mind. Hey, Dustin. Right. I reckon Fred's going to be wandering up in the next 10 minutes or so. So, yeah, obviously his missus is coming to get us, so I can't, you know, I can't keep her waiting. You don't want to keep Pat waiting. She'll beat you up. There's a guy who does custom trees, think for hobbies. He has a YouTube, does mainly engage. There's a couple of guys who do custom trees. AliExpress is excellent. I like AliExpress, but bloody hell, I don't know how to set off notifications on your phone. Cheers, Kat. Rug binder. I'll have a word with Ali about it. We've got a lady here, Ali, she's like a really good like seamstress or something like. Right, said Fred. No, we don't take the piss out of Fred, mate. Rob, you don't take the piss out of Fred. You take the piss out of me all you want. Yeah, but Fred just knows too much and is too cool to take the piss out of. I have the chance of having my work in magazines, but I want to showcase 1 to 32 toy. Do I need permission from the toy soldiers I use for it? No, you don't. As long as you're not presenting the toy soldiers as your work. What you do have to do is acknowledge where the toy soldiers are from. Yeah, in the work. So, you know, terrain by you, toy soldiers from, you know, miniatures from such and such company. Who is Fred? Rob's taking the mick out. Rob doesn't know who Fred is. Some dude who does a painting. Bleach on. That's a way of what you call it. That's a way. Fred's a landscape artist and an architectural artist. Yeah. With 40, 50 years experience. He knows his colours. Fred, professional. Mel, not so much. Do you know what? I completely endorse that comment. Dragmail right, said Fred. No, no. What? He is, and he does. He is, and he does. Fred is a bloke who paints. Catch you later, Michael. Have a good time at work, bud. Suits his job well. Painting it, at least. It does. It does. He's probably, to be truthful, he's probably got lost in painting. Probably doesn't even know what time it is, which means Pat's going to turn up. Fred is a painting wizard, a chromatomancer. A chromatomancer. A wizard of colours. What would be a good material to use for a gantry diorama scale for a Forge World Titan? Granny grating, mate. You grab it from embroidery shops. It's the plastic grid that they embroider on. You can get it in various different thicknesses, but it's perfect. Cuts real easy, takes primers easy, and it's got that grating sort of grid look to it. Yeah, they call it granny grating. You and... Mel, do you like watching battle reports? No, not really. It's not something I particularly watch. I'd rather play a game. If I've got the time to watch a battle report, I'd rather play a game, to be truthful. I mean, the only time I'll watch a battle report is if I'm trying to get my head around a game. Like when I got into Bolt Action, I watched a few battle reports just to reinforce what I was learning and that sort of stuff. In the States, it's called plastic needlework canvas. Is granny grating cross-stitch material? Yeah, the substructure for cross-stitch. See you later, CJ. Thank you, dude. Thank you, buddy. And yes, right, let's get him on the screen. From Dennis M. Let's get Den M on. Den M. Den M. Den M. Den M. Den M. Denise. Dennis. Denise. Den. You're on the screen. Oh, we're going to have to go fade. Scroll. See, I didn't even try and for raise funds this, and you just... I love you folks. Thank you. So about this castle build. Here we go. Thanks, Septic. I do appreciate it. A chromatomancer means colour diviner. I like that one. It's weird watching a battle rep whilst trying to play the armies in real life. I imagine it would be. As the cloth is fabric and used for cross stitch. Plastic canvas is used for needlepoint and some rug hooking. See, it's handy having people in the chat who actually know this shit in it. Ooh, scrolling activated. I appreciate Septic, I really do. An army's on parade board. So about the palm tree build, we're getting there. Mel, you can sit. Why, thank you. Oh. Catch you later, crits. We are going to be tackling palm trees. It's the terrain lab coming up now. I've got a choice. We do a terrain lab on colour with Fred. Yeah, or we do palm trees. Which do you want first? Come on. Let's see how desperate you are for palm trees. You got a choice. We can either do a video with Fred where we'll get Fred talk about the real colour of rocks and water and stone and bushes and all that sort of stuff. Or We can have me doing palm trees. What do you want? So any update on the acrylic mats you were working on Thursday? Yes. Tons, mate. We covered them all. Right now I've got one drying there, one drying there, and 3 drying there. Loads more testing to do. Colours, Fred. Fred. Why not both? Real colour palm trees. Do you know what? Fred could probably do that. Fred. I think Fred's got the... Oh, Tamsin. Topics. There's always a couple who go against the flow, isn't there? You know if you say his name 3 times, Fred appears. Fred. 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 I'd have shit a brick if he was just behind that door then about to knock. That would have been... He isn't. I'm not... I can't watch... I can't switch this over to broadcasting live on my phone like I could with the Google Hangouts. Yeah? If I could, we'd go down and visit Fred. You make them and Fred paints them. Watch the lights go out and then be standing behind you. Fred's rather silent in the way he moves as well. Tom, sure, keep up the good work. Man, I love watching videos. Awesome, Tom, an awesome lad. Get cracked on. Do you know how freaked out all of us would have been? It would have been epic, wouldn't it? Open the door and he's there. Hello. He's like the Candyman of what you call it, of Spodeworks. And before you ask, no, I can't say Candyman 3 times in the mirror. I just can't. I can't do it. Hey, Scott? With a knifed glove. Well, he does spend most of his time working with knives because he works with palette knives, working with the oils. Because oils you fold when you mix them. You know, it's quite a very different medium to acrylics. We stir acrylics, you know what I mean, because they're more watery. Jace Green is a champ for not getting jealous of your bromance with Fred. That's because he's got a bromance with Fred as well. Anyone who meets Fred automatically has a bromance with him. Because 1, he can paint. I mean, he can properly paint. 2, okay, he's a nice guy. 3, he just knows so much stuff. You just sit there and you just want to listen to him. I go into like a little kid mode whenever he comes in. He hasn't forgotten me. I saw him before I did the live stream. A menage a trois. Hey, Cart, you'd love that, Tamsin, wouldn't you? Hey? Calm down, young lady. You keep me out of your thoughts. Sorry, darling. I don't mind saying Beetlejuice, but not Candyman. That film scared the crap out of me as a kid. Right, it's 10 o'clock now, which means I'm going to have to start winding it up because Fred is going to be wandering up. Go on, have you got any questions for me? Fire some questions my way if you've got them. Right, I've taken that out. We're good there. Lay me down in the grove. That's twice now, no third time, I won't. Thank you for all the vids and amazing info. It's what I'm here for, Scott. Got power back? At last can see your videos. Glad to hear it, Carlos. Were you struggling with the hurricanes, mate? If so, glad you're safe, bud. Hope things are okay over there. Will you be doing any more interviews with people like David TM Terrain? Yes, I was due to go down and see a Shiro modelling next weekend. but he's had to reschedule because of deadlines with his main job. You know what I mean? So that's the next one I'm trying to schedule. The show for only 1 hour, yeah, because the show is only for 1 hour because I'm getting a lift home with Fred. So when he turns up, it's time for me to go. Any ideas for feudal medieval terrain pieces, Mel? Oh yes, go and watch last week's Sunday Nighter, where we brainstormed all the tutorials people wanted with a list of all the medieval things to make. Yeah, so yeah. William, saying Mel 3 times is not going to make me appear. If you do it in your bedroom mirror late at night while you're naked and I appear, I trust you, it will be a horror movie. Lars has just finished a little shrine. Just don't say it's to me. A bit of the old boast bum burn there, or bum. A bit of the old bum. Oh, was I bending over? Question, just how thin can you make one of these mats? Technically, a single coat will give you a mat that's, you know what I mean? That's thick enough to use. I'd say max. Say 2mm, max. On my Burma one. Great, now I won't go to sleep tonight anymore. Combat Diggy. Are you going to be thinking about me, mate? A little bit of Mel. What's Mel's battle plan for Thursday? More of the same, probably more mats to be truthful. I reckon by then we'll be flocking them and testing different ways of adhering flock to them. Trying to think of ideas for Nurgle disease terrain. Any help would be appreciated. Right, well, you want lots of pustules, you want lots of ooze, you want to stick to the greens and the browns, the desaturated greens and browns. By desaturated, what we mean is not vivid. Yeah, the sort of dull ones. Lots of little yellow spots everywhere, pustules, that'll work. Candy Mel. I'm not singing the Shining theme song. Glass beads make good pustules in ponds and stuff. They do. That's his porno name. Hey up, hand. Cleaned your desk up, son, from all that spilt tea. 2mm sounds like it would work for 10mm scale rivers. Yeah, quite possibly. The issue with the rivers is obviously we've got to put some sort of reflective, watery material down. Now, I have tested acrylic on this stuff before, but I think the pour was too deep. That when we bent it, it split, yeah, and then it lost its reflectiveness. I'd have to show you what I mean. Yeah, but maybe we can get away with brushing it on a thin coat, but I don't know, and we won't know until such time as, you know, we're at the stage where we're experimenting with making rivers. I mean, the other question, you know, that I want to answer for the mats is, if I get, is it EVA foam or EPA foam? You know, the flexible spongy foam. Yeah, that makes cosplay stuff out. I'm starting to wonder whether you can cut bits of that, glue that onto the mats, cover them with acrylic to make undulating terrain, and see if we can roll that. So that's another experiment that we've got to do. See, I've got a load of experiments we've got to do. Hey, say Mel 3 times would have got you a free trip to the US. And could have saved him some, used him as a free postal service. $2 AM. Where's Beth off at 2 AM? Thoughts on silicone water effect on Mylar film. What's Mylar film? Seriously breaking up now with the stream while you talk about streams. Give it a refresh, mate. I mean, everything's looking good here. No drops. We've got good. I'm streaming to the YouTube servers. Really nice. There's no issues whatsoever, so it's not this side, unfortunately. Going to school with France, coach and Eurostar. Nice one. Crisp packets, Mel. Okay, right. Silicon water effect on Mylar film. Yeah, I imagine it worked good as a backing that you could peel off to make waterfalls. Yeah, man, you caught me off guard with that one. Mine started doing the same thing 5 minutes ago. Right, is it like that? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go find Fred anyway. So I'm going to wrap this up because I've been here since 1 o'clock. So I've been here 9 hours already. And to be truthful, yeah, I'm ready for home and there's not much more I can do here other than kick my heels. So I think I'm going to call it since the stream is breaking up. It's ironic because just right now it looks like it's gone high def for me. Who knows? Oh, calm down. Right, I'm going to call it now. Listen, guys, just so you know what's going on, you have another, Let's Make coming on Tuesday, 7:30. And then we're live in the studio Thursday night at 7:30 as well. And then you will have another video on Saturday at 7:30. No, you noticed the commonality? 7:30 UK time, PM obviously. In the meantime, guys, I'm going to knock it on the head. Call it a day. Yeah. And go find Fred so he can take me home so I can go and have a nice brew and sit down with Kez before I start video editing for another 3 hours. Hey ho. Right, no worries, Odin. Right, guys, listen, you all have a good one, and I will see you soon, folks. All the best, yeah? Ta-ra.